Hand washing is one of the best ways to avoid getting sick and spreading illnesses, especially during this pandemic. As a result, many of us are noticing that our hands are dry, which isn't serious or dangerous, but it can be very irritating or bothersome for a lot of people. Nobody likes flaky or itchy hands, right? But while clean hands save lives, it's also important to protect them. After all, your health is in your hands. I'm Dr. Freddy Gomez. This is Med Talk Health Talk, where your care comes first. Dry skin is a sign that your skin isn't as happy as it should be, but there are several ways to keep it nice and happy as well as hydrated no matter the cause. To help us with today's discussion, let's welcome on the program Dr. Emmy Onishi. She's a board-certified dermatologist at HOO Dermatology and the Philippine General Hospital. And we also have Dr. Christine Lorena Arrienda Mojica. She's a family medicine specialist at QualiMed. Dry hands are very common, especially nowadays, and mainly triggered by environmental factors. Dr. Emmy, I'll start first with you. When it comes to dry hands, ano ba yung pinaka-common causes kung bakit nagda-dry ang kamay ng mga tao?
Dry hands, usually pinakaunang cause, lalo na ngayon, it would be excessive hand washing, exposure to chemical or harsh cleansers, and some conditions that may actually predispose you to dryness, and medications that you are taking. So those are the common conditions that could cause dry hands.
Dr. Tin, in a country like ours, when it gets cooler or when we spend so much time in an air-conditioned environment, our skin can get very dry or rough at this point. How do we manage this? Ano yung pinakamadaling way to manage this type?
Actually, during low temperature, pag lumalamig po. And as you have mentioned, yung katulad niyan, yung dry skin due to frequent hand washing since we are in a pandemic. So usually we advise the patients na not to thoroughly dry. Hindi naman sinabing sobrang dry, but leave some, parang ipapat dry mo. At the same time, you can add moisturizers or emollients to your skin.
Pero Dr. Emmy, when it comes to dry, pinag-usapan natin ang dry skin, ano? For those who probably have not experienced dry skin, what are some of the symptoms that a person with dry skin, what can they feel? What can they see on their hands?
Usually, they would notice na rough yung skin. Also, it could be flaky and more sensitive or it could sting easily. It's itchy as well. That's a common symptoms as well.
Now, there are other certain factors that may increase our risk of developing dry skin, especially other diseases. Dr. Tin, ano yung ibang mga common diseases, chronic diseases maybe, that can contribute to one having dry skin?
Other skin diseases na commonly ko po nakikita sa practice, number one is atopic dermatitis or someone, minsan sinasabi nila skin asthma. Also, meron din pong psoriasis, seborrheic dermatitis, and usually po yung mga nagkukos din ng mga vitamin deficiencies.
Now let's talk about aging, because aging makes our skin more susceptible to dryness. That's why there are several products in the market to help someone with aging skin have their skin smoother and even younger looking. Dr. Emmy, what really happens when someone inevitably ages? What happens to their skin that promotes their skin to excessive dryness?
So when we age, kumukulang din, nag-iba yung structure ng skin. Not only the outer layer, but also the dermis, which is responsible for the pliability. But aging skin, mas kapag napapansin natin, they're dry and crepey compared to younger patients. So usually in the regimen or for skincare, we recommend not only for the face but all over the body to make sure that they use good moisturizer to hydrate the skin as well as lock in moisture and prevent dehydration or dryness.
Dr. Tin, is there any advice that you give dun sa mga mahilig maligo ng mga 20, 30 minutes dahil yun yung relaxing time nila? Is there any advice on how long you should be in the shower?
Siguro a quick lukewarm bath. Not enough, not too hot naman kasi baka mamay mag-cause tayo ng burns. So your 10 to 15 minutes would do.
Okay. Now, hand washing is an effective way to prevent COVID-19 as well as other illnesses. In addition to this, we are now constantly spraying our hands with hand sanitizers or even alcohol. And as a result, we get dry hands. How do we avoid this? More after a short break. We're together in health. You're watching MedTalk Health Talk on CNN Philippines. Regular hand washing is the best way to protect ourselves from all kinds of germs, and as a result, we avoid getting sick and getting others sick. I'm Dr. Freddy Gomez, and you're watching MedTalk Health Talk on CNN Philippines. We're here to build a healthier future for you. When your hands are dirty, germs can spread when you touch your eyes, your nose, and mouth, and when you eat or when you touch a contaminated surface or an object. Dr. Tin, paki-explain nga po sa audience kung gaano ka-importante ang paghuhugas ng kamay at gaano ba kadalas dapat.
Kailangan natin mag-wash very often. Although, mas makikita siguro natin before, ang sinasabi nila, hand wash when your hands are soiled. But nowadays, since we know that we're in a pandemic, if we have the chance, mas maganda pa rin po talaga ang hand washing and hindi lang basta hand washing, we need to have the proper hand washing. Kasi po ang hand washing natin, yun yung first line of defense natin. So for me, it's not enough na sanitizers or alcohol lang. So if you have the chance, kunyari nasa work or sa bahay, or may nahawakan ka na frequently touch, cellphones, doorknobs, I guess mas maganda hand wash pa rin po.
Now, Dr. Emmy, my question is, your advice is to hydrate hands, especially those that are prone to infection. But with the multitude of moisturizers available on the market today in the pharmacies or whatnot, instead of us focusing on the brands, let's focus on what ingredients should your viewers watch out for whenever they choose a moisturizer.
We want an occlusive or more thick and heavy moisturizer so that they can effectively seal the moisture. Usually, ito yung cream-based or ointment-based. And the main ingredients is usually petrolatum or mineral oil. And for example, for the face, we don't use that because we don't want to clog our pores. So most of the products in the market, they combine the occlusive, emollients, and humectants, meaning iba-iba yung action nila. But the most important is to seal the moisture, to fill in the gaps, and as well as attract moisture into the skin.
Okay, and talking about sensitive skin, let's talk about those who are prone to developing atopic dermatitis or madalas naririnig ng mga tao is skin asthma. Dr. Emmy, let's talk about this. Could you explain to our viewers what is this, gaano kadalas ba ito, and what happens to someone who is prone to having atopic dermatitis?
Skin asthma, it's a chronic skin condition, meaning nawawala siya and pwede siyang bumalik. And usually, ang condition nila, they have a deficiency sa skin. So may kulang na part ng skin nila. That's why they're more sensitive and they're more prone to dryness. And overall dry yung skin nila and rough, usually. Those are the signs and symptoms. And the very important, it's really itchy.
Dr. Tin, itong mga medical conditions, for example, hypothyroidism or isang taong may diabetes or isang taong may malnutrition, itong lahat ba, paano kaya mas madaling agapan ang isang tao when they see that they have already skin manifestations because of these?
Usually, you have to treat the underlying cause
Yes.
first, or you have to control muna yung if they need thyroid hormones or yung kanilang maintenance medications in terms of sugar control. So, kailangan mo na pong i-address yon. So, patulad po ng sa atopic dermatitis, if tingin po ni doctor, so mukhang at least yung basic po siguro na You have to hydrate, drink lots of water, hydrate, and put moisturizer.
Dr. Emmy, I'd like to ask, is the sun a big factor on the health of someone's skin, especially when it comes to dryness?
So the sun is a major contributing factor for skin aging. And you know that when the skin is aging, isa sa symptoms na or sign would be dryness, but not really directly correlated na dry yung skin agad because of sun exposure.
Right.
But of course, if we are exposed to the sun too much and there's dehydration, then it could be a factor too. Dryness.
Is there a product that can do both, protect your skin from the damaging UV rays, but at the same time moisturizing your skin as well? Are there products available with these ingredients in mind?
Yes, actually, most of the sunscreens or some sunscreens are specialized to be moisturizing as well. So other sunscreen, depende if you have oily skin, they're oil-free or gel type. But if you have a dry skin and you want a protection, then sunscreen with moisturizers are also available.
How do we find a solution for one's dry skin? We'll talk about this and more when we return. Your health is our mission. This is MedTalk Health Talk on CNN Philippines. If you're prone to dry skin, you may want to look into your habits and maybe your diet. I'm Dr. Freddy Gomez, and you're watching MedTalk Health Talk on CNN Philippines. And our mission is for better health for you and your loved ones. Dr. Tin, we've been talking about yung mga skin manifestation natin dito, no? Pero gaano ka-importante ang pagkain na kinakain ng isang tao when it comes to anong itsura or gaano ka-healthy ang balat nila?
There's a saying na you are what you eat. Right? So, it's important, siguro po, since yung skin natin is the biggest organs in the body. So, it's good siguro na ma-maintain natin siya by taking care of our health by eating fruits and vegetables or a well-balanced diet.
Now, I'd like to go to Dr. Emmy. Let's talk about yung mga pagkain na masustansya at may direct effect sa health ng balat ng tao. What type of food should our viewers eat for good, really glowing skin?
Especially for dryness, it's important that you include food with omega-3 and 6 fatty acids because they're essential dun nga sa lipid part ng skin natin or ng barrier function. So, they hydrate the skin well and para mas soft and smooth yung skin. So, they're very important. And also, of course, hydration. Drink lots of water. If you don't have any condition naman na bawal uminom ng tubig, then it's just plain water. Or maybe add some lemon, but walang other sugar or hindi importanteng components.
Dr. Tin, let's move on to some prevention naman. So we want to give our viewers some advice on how to prevent dry skin for that matter. Where should they start?
Focus natin is yung hand washing. So as we have mentioned, we can use a variety of emollients or moisturizers that could prevent further dryness due to frequent hand washing. Also for overall po yung pagligo natin. So we have to maintain or kung may existing kang skin condition, so you have to limit your bathing or yung pagligo and use lukewarm water and preventing vigorous drying para at least ma-lock in pa rin po yung moisture and use skin products na binigay po ng inyong board-certified dermatologist or your family physician.
And also for Emmy, how can our viewers be able to take care of their skin, not just for dryness, but in general? I'm sure a lot of viewers are not just concerned about the skin in their hands and being dry, but the skin in their face and trying to keep that, from sun damage and everything that could harm their skin. What's your advice for the viewers?
A good moisturizer, especially for the face, non-comedogenic but moisturizing, and also sunscreen because most of skin aging or 80% of our aging skin or Aging of skin is because of UV exposure. And we want to protect our face, for example, from UV exposure.
Ano ang mas nakaka-dry dito? Ang paggamit ng sabon na tubig or ang paggamit ng alcohol na 70% and above isopropyl?
If you are using a mild cleanser, then mas harsh yung alcohol talaga sa kamay because it's really dehydrating the skin and it also damage the lipid layer of the skin. But pareho, if you wash your hands naman talaga ng paulit-ulit kahit gaano pa ka-gentle, syempre, nade-dehydrate, especially if you're using hot water. So, make sure that you moisturize right after hand washing if it's possible. And mga within 2 minutes, malagay na yung moisturizer agad para ma-lock in yung moisture sa kamay natin after paghugas ng kamay.
I'd like to thank dermatologist Dr. Emmy Onishi as well as family medicine specialist Dr. Christine Arienda Mojica for joining us today and sharing with our viewers your knowledge. But always make sure that you have any doubts when it comes to taking care of your skin. Always ask the help of your doctor. Now, dry hands are a normal part of life, especially now since hand hygiene is our first line of defense against COVID-19. That constant washing and spraying of alcohol can lead to ultra-dry skin, but you can keep your hands healthy and still be hygienic. So don't skip hand washing. Moisturizing, for one, can bring those hardworking hands back to life. We want to be your partner for a lifetime of good health. I'm Dr. Freddy Gomez. Thank you for watching. Frequent hand washing is one of the best ways to avoid getting sick and spreading illnesses, especially during this pandemic. As a result, many of us are noticing that our hands are dry, which isn't serious or dangerous, but it can be very irritating or bothersome for a lot of people. Nobody likes flaky or itchy hands, right? But while clean hands save lives, it's also important to protect them. After all, your health is in your hands. I'm Dr. Freddy Gomez. This is Med Talk Health Talk, where your care comes first.